Picture this, it's a warm summer evening, and you're strolling through a bustling park in Seattle. A handsome guy with a cast on his arm flashes a charming smile and asks for help carrying something to his car. His voice is smooth, his demeanor friendly. How could you say no? But you've just walked into the trap of Ted Bundy, America's most notorious serial killer. With an IQ over 130, a disarming charm, and a mind sharper than a razor, Bundy didn't just kill, he orchestrated nightmares, manipulated everyone around him, outsmarted the cops, and left a nation paralyzed with fear. Today we're diving deep into the twisted psyche of a man who was both genius and monster. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and buckle up for a chilling journey into the dark world of Ted Bundy. In January 1974, Seattle was a city of tree-lined streets and laid-back vibes, but a shadow was creeping in. Young women beautiful with long, center-parted hair started vanishing without a trace. No clues, no witnesses, just families torn apart, and a community gripped by dread. Behind it all was Ted Bundy, a 28-year-old law student with a smile that could melt hearts and a mind that could outwit anyone. To understand how this monster was born, we need to step back to his troubled childhood. Born in 1946 in Burlington, Vermont, Bundy grew up in a dysfunctional household. His mother, Louise Cowell, gave birth to him out of wedlock, a scandal in their strict Christian family. His biological father was a ghost never to be seen, and his grandfather a violent, paranoid man who beat his family, raised Bundy as his own son to hide the truth. Young Ted lived in a house filled with screams and secrets. He snuck peeks at his grandfather's porn stash, spied on women through windows, and even placed knives beside sleeping relatives, as if testing the line between life and death. These early years, steeped in violence and shame, planted the seeds for a warped psyche later diagnosed as antisocial personality disorder and necrophilia. On January 4th, 1974, in a dimly lit alley in Seattle, Bundy slipped through an unlocked basement window into the apartment of Joni Lenz, an 18-year-old college freshman. Under the faint glow of a street lamp, he grabbed a metal rod from her bed frame and smashed it against her skull, knocking her unconscious in a pool of blood. But he wasn't done. In a sickening act, he assaulted her with the same rod, inflicting injuries so severe that doctors were stunned she survived. Joni spent 10 days in a coma and suffered permanent brain damage. Bundy walked away without leaving a single fingerprint, vanishing into the night like a phantom. His intellect, honed through years of studying psychology at the University of Washington, made him a master of precision, every move calculated, every trace erased. Bundy wasn't your average killer. With an IQ over 130, he aced his classes at the University of Washington, studying psychology and later law, and worked on political campaigns where his charisma and quick wit turned heads. He studied police investigation techniques, learning how to avoid fingerprints and DNA. To the world, he was the all-American boy, smart, charming, the kind of guy you'd bring home to meet your parents. But a deep wound festered inside him. In 1968, his wealthy girlfriend, Stephanie Brooks, dumped him, calling him ambitionless. The rejection cut deep, shredding his fragile ego. He retaliated in 1973 by winning her back, proposing marriage, and then ghosting her days before the wedding, a cold, calculated mind game. Psychologists believe he targeted women who resembled Brooks, young, beautiful, with long hair, as a way to punish that betrayal. On February 4th, 1974, Bundy struck again, targeting Linda Ann Healy, a 21-year-old radio announcer and college student. In the dead of night, he crept into her dorm room while her roommates slept. Wielding a heavy club, he knocked her out with a single blow. He dressed her in blue jeans, a white shirt, and shoes, then carried her away like a lifeless doll. Back at the scene, he washed her blood-soaked sheets and scrubbed the floor, leaving no trace of the horror. Her remains were found a year later on a hillside near Seattle, showing signs of strangulation and assault. For Bundy, killing wasn't just an act, it was a ritual. He later confessed that dominating another person's life made him feel like a god, and his habit of returning to crime scenes to interact with bodies revealed his necrophilic tendencies. By the summer of 1974, Seattle was a city on edge. Newspapers screamed headlines about missing women, and young women were warned never to walk alone. On July 14, 1974, Bundy appeared at Lake Sammamish State Park, a sun-soaked spot filled with picnickers and laughter. Dressed in crisp white tennis gear, his arm in a fake cast, he introduced himself as Ted and approached a group of women asking for help loading a sailboat onto his car. His charm was magnetic, his smile disarming. One 23-year-old woman felt a chill and declined, saving her life. But Janice at 23 and Denise Naslin, 19, fell for his ruse. He lured them to a secluded area, knocked them out with a club, assaulted them, and strangled them with chilling efficiency. Their bones were found months later, 3 miles from the park, bearing marks of unimaginable violence. Witnesses at the park described a handsome, polite man helping police sketch a suspect. But Bundy was always one step ahead. He changed his hairstyle, swapped outfits, and blended into society like a chameleon. His intellect wasn't just in his crimes, it was in his ability to hide in plain sight. He worked on the campaign of Washington's governor, rubbing elbows with politicians by day while hunting victims by night. Elizabeth Klupfer, Bundy's long-term girlfriend, was the first to see through his mask. In 1974, she noticed the suspect's sketches looked eerily like her boyfriend. Searching his apartment, she found Crutch's plaster of Paris and a sack of women's underwear items that matched police reports. Sitting across from him at dinner, listening to his dreams of becoming a lawyer, she saw a coldness in his eyes that haunted her. She called the police twice in 1974 and 1975, but they dismissed her at first. "He's too normal," one detective said. "No way a guy like that's a killer." Elizabeth's persistence would later prove pivotal, though it came at the cost of sleepless nights and the fear she might be next. By fall 1974, Bundy took his killing spree to Utah, leaving Seattle's chaos behind. On October 2nd in Holiday, he abducted Nancy Wilcox, a 16-year-old, walking alone under flickering streetlights. He assaulted and strangled her, disposing of her body near Capitol Reef National Park, a remote wilderness where it was never found. On October 31st, he targeted Laura Amy, a 17-year-old who just left a Lehigh cafe. In the chilly fog, he lured her to an alley, knocked her out, assaulted her, and strangled her. Her body was found a month later in American Fork Canyon, naked and battered, a testament to his brutality. Bundy's choice of isolated locations and quiet hours showed a mind that thrived on control and secrecy. On November 8, 1974, at a bustling mall in Murray, Utah, Bundy reinvented himself as a cop. Approaching 18-year-old Carol Duranch, he spoke calmly. "Someone tried to steal your car. Come with me to file a report." Carol, trusting and naive, followed him, but when he led her to an abandoned building, her instincts screamed danger. She demanded his badge, and he flashed a chilling smile. In the shadows, he pulled a gun and tried to handcuff her, but Carol fought back, breaking free and sprinting to flag down a passing car. Sobbing at the police station, she described a handsome man driving a Volkswagen Beetle. Her escape wasn't just a miracle, it was a turning point. Carol became the key witness who would help bring Bundy down. On August 16, 1975, in a quiet Granger, Utah street, a patrol officer spotted a Volkswagen Beetle weaving suspiciously. Pulling it over, they met Ted Bundy, cool, confident, and unfazed. A search of his car revealed a chilling arsenal: handcuffs, rope, a ski mask, a crowbar, and gloves. Bundy brushed it off, claiming they were everyday items, but they matched Carol Duranch's description perfectly. Forensic experts found hairs in the car belonging to victims Melissa Smith, Corinne Campbell, and Carol Duranch. Melissa, 17, vanished in Midvale, Utah in October 1974. Her body was found 9 days later, bruised and assaulted. Corinne, a 23-year-old nurse, disappeared in Snowmass, Colorado in January 1975. Her body was found a month later on a desolate road, showing signs of strangulation. These hairs were damning evidence, leading to Bundy's 1976 conviction for kidnapping Carol Duranch and a 15-year prison sentence. But a mind like Bundy's couldn't be caged. He escaped twice, each time showcasing his terrifying ingenuity. On June 7, 1977, during a court hearing in Aspen, Colorado, Bundy was allowed to act as his own lawyer thanks to his impressive legal knowledge. While researching in the courthouse library, he scanned the room, his eyes locking on a second-story window. When the guard looked away, he leapt out, landing with a twisted ankle but sprinting into the Aspen wilderness. In the freezing nights, he stole food and clothes from an abandoned cabin, surviving on sheer will. He stole a car to head back to town, but was caught on June 13th after 6 days on the run. His escape was bold, a testament to his daring and resourcefulness, though thwarted by his injury and the harsh terrain. His second escape on December 30th, 1977, from Garfield County Jail in Utah was a masterclass in planning. Over 6 months, Bundy secretly bought a hacksaw from a friend, Carol Boone, who was dangerously devoted to him. He sawed a 12-inch hole in his cell's ceiling, leading to a ventilation duct. To fit through the narrow passage, he starved himself, dropping 35 pounds on a diet of water and scraps. Every night he climbed into the ceiling, mapping the jail's duct system and plotting his path to the guard's office. To fool the guards, he arranged books and blankets on his bed to mimic a sleeping figure. On December 30, with the jail understaffed during the Christmas holidays, Bundy crawled through the duct, slipped into a stolen guard uniform, and walked out as if he belonged there. He fled to Chicago, then Florida, leaving law enforcement scrambling. This escape wasn't just clever, it was a chilling display of patience and cunning. In Florida, Bundy was a wounded predator, reckless but still deadly. On January 15, 1978, he broke into the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University in Tallahassee. In the dead of night, he gripped a wooden club and entered Lisa Levy's room. With brutal force, he shattered her skull, assaulted her as blood pooled around her, and moved on to Margaret Bowman, 21, killing her with the same ferocity. In just 15 minutes, he attacked two other students, Kathy Kleiner and Karen Chandler, leaving them gravely injured but alive. The bite marks he left on Lisa Levy's body became critical evidence as forensic odontologists matched them to Bundy's teeth. This reckless act showed he was unraveling, leaving clues he'd once meticulously avoided. On February 9, 1978, Bundy committed his final crime. In Lake City, Florida, he lured 12-year-old Kimberly Leach from her schoolyard into a van. He assaulted and strangled her, dumping her body near a river. Her remains were found weeks later decomposed, leaving her family in unending grief. Kimberly's murder marked the end of Bundy's reign, showing a killer who could no longer control his impulses, but was still cunning enough to evade capture for weeks. On February 15, 1978, Bundy was arrested in Pensacola, Florida, driving a stolen car with fake IDs. In the interrogation room, he remained smug, answering questions with a sly grin. The 1979 Miami trial was his stage. Acting as his own lawyer, he used his legal knowledge to grill witnesses with razor-sharp precision, even charming some spectators with his confidence. But the evidence was overwhelming: the bite marks, the hairs, and Carol Duranche's testimony sealed his fate. He was sentenced to death for 2 counts of first-degree murder. In his final years, Bundy became a media sensation. From his cell, he received hundreds of love letters from women who refused to believe a man so charismatic could be a monster. He gave interviews with a smug detachment, describing his crimes in the third person as if narrating a movie. He even helped the FBI profile the Green River Killer to delay his execution, showcasing his analytical prowess. His intellect made him all the more dangerous, manipulating victims, the public, the media, and even the justice system. Before his execution on January 24, 1989, Bundy confessed to at least 30 murders across Washington: 11 Utah, 8 Colorado, 3 Florida, 3 Oregon, 2 Idaho, 2 and California, 1. He couldn't recall the exact number, and investigators suspect more victims remain undiscovered. As the electric chair's current surged through him, hundreds gathered outside the prison cheering for justice. But Bundy's story didn't end. It became a haunting legacy. The Ted Bundy case shook America to its core, shattering stereotypes about serial killers. He wasn't a creepy loner. He was a charming, ambitious man who could have been a senator or a CEO. His crimes forced police agencies to collaborate, leading to the creation of national crime databases. Women became more cautious, and schools began teaching kids about stranger danger. Families drilled safety rules into their children, forever changed by the knowledge that evil could wear a friendly face. Bundy left us with a haunting question: how can one man be both a genius and a monster? He dreamed of being a lawyer, a governor, maybe even president, but his twisted soul led him down a path of destruction. He didn't kill for lust alone. He craved power, control, and immortality. In one chilling interview, he said, "I don't feel guilt. I just feel sorry I got caught." Those words reveal a man without a conscience, for whom human lives were pieces in a sick game. Ted Bundy was a living nightmare, a monster hiding behind a perfect mask. His brilliant mind and black heart stole the lives of over 30 women, leaving scars on countless families. When he was executed in 1989, America exhaled, but the lesson lingers: danger can lurk beneath any facade, even a friendly smile. Stay vigilant, always verify who you're dealing with, and never let appearances fool you. What do you think of Bundy's chilling duality? Was he a genius or a monster? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit Like if this story gave you chills, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more gripping true crime tales. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the shadows of the next story.